What is going on, everybody? It is Edison T. Crux here, and look at this. We are journeying down the endless desert where we started a journey long ago when the first episode of CruxCraft aired. I remember crossing this very desert with Morgan and Quillman, dying, having a gold time, just trying to find that village. I swear it was just around the corner. Now, I know I haven't been making any videos in a while. I've been not in a particularly great spot in my life for doing much in the way of video creation, so I've been taking a break from that, and that's why I might pick it up again at some point. But for the time being, videos just have not been a priority for me. I hope you all understand. I know I've gone through little hiatuses like this before, and you've all been very understanding. So I hope no one minds too terribly. But the news about Minecraft 1.13 finally hitting is something big enough to pull me out of my hibernation and get me doing some videos again. Dust off the old video equipment, because I have been wanting for a while to start up CruxCraft Season 2. And we're going to be starting a fresh new world on 1.13, the update Aquatic, because there's a whole bunch of new world gen stuff, and it would just be better. It's a good update to do as a fresh, clean slate. So with that in mind, I very much wanted to start a whole new world. I got some new people who'll be joining in this go-around, and I think it's going to be really fun. So I wanted to do one last tour of some of the places. Not obviously I won't hit all of them, but some of the highlights of the places that we have built and the cool stuff that we've done in Season 1. So this is going to be just kind of a partial world tour. I'm not going to have everything hit, obviously, because there's stuff that I don't even think about. It's been a long time, right? I'll forget about some things. I will have a backup of this world so we can go back if there's stuff to look back on and all of that good stuff. But for now, I just want to take a trip down memory lane and remember some of the cool times we had here on Season 1. And then before we start things fresh with Season 2. Now, I do first want to kind of manage some expectations here for a moment. I am planning to make videos of Season 2, but I don't plan on doing a lot of them. It's going to be more like update videos from time to time. Nothing super structured or super fancy or anything. Mostly just kind of updates to show what I'm doing. But I plan on playing most of it offline or off camera, just to enjoy playing some Minecraft with some friends. So again, I hope none of you mind, but I will try and keep you updated on at least some of the progress as it goes along. So without further ado, let's take a look at some of the cool builds in this place, shall we? Now, to me, it seems appropriate to start with some of the earlier builds on the server, and that is with this railroad that we built. I believe Ollie actually built it to cross the desert from spawn over here to the village where we all hung out. Now, this over here is the AFK fish farm, the fishing shack. Sit back and reel them in. This was actually my first redstone contraption on the server, which I enjoyed. It was fun. I was kind of experimenting with the kind of coastal style of build that I ended up later using for the village of Seaside. And it's a nice little fish farm. I don't know if it's still functional now with some of the updates, but ooh, heard a witch. These are some cool. What was this over here again? This was the jail. That's right. There's a jail over here, and over here lies Terry. Rest in peace, my iron friend. Yes, that was a iron golem that has its own memorial. And there's a witch somewhere. It's gonna bug me. Where is it? Is it? Oh, geez, there's a witch inside. That's creepy right there. That is a little bit disturbing. Not gonna lie. Now, I believe it was Hideyoshi who built this beautiful fountain. It was one of the early builds on the server. Okay, those sheep are gonna bug me. One of the earlier builds on the server, and I always loved it. I've used this for a lot of like thumbnails and such, just because it looks so cool. Well done. A lot of great stuff Hideyoshi built, which actually rolls in perfectly to the wonderful grand Church of Cobble, which is one of his builds. Church of Rumble, send the creeps back to their makers. Very cool build. He's made some cool stuff. Honestly, I don't even know all the stuff that he built. This was originally, it's a mob farm. I don't know all of the stuff that he's built, because honestly, he does a lot of it and like doesn't even tell everyone about it. That's his base over there. He'll have to sometime give a tour of all of his contraptions, because I know there's a lot of stuff that he works on that I don't even notice, which is kind of cool. It's like mysteries in my own server. I remember in here were some of the earliest buildings that we used in survival. This was one of the first ones, first buildings we used, and it kind of became like a central community hub. So this little storage facility that's open to anybody. It was a good little just place if, hey, you're just starting out, you need a place to hang out. That's a good spot. Over here we have a chicken farm that Quill put together, which did a great job of hooking us up with chicken. I remember, again, these farms over here are some of the earliest on the server. We set those up nice and early to start getting us some food. Now there's overabundance of it. And we never even cleaned up this Nether exploration care package for our first trip into the Nether. And of course, the community strip mine is down here, which, as I recall, whoa, that's creepy. As I recall, oh geez, dude, this is a view right here. This shows you just how much mining we did down here. Now, I'm sure there are servers that have done a ton more than this, but this is pretty cool to see. I don't typically wander around in spectator mode on the server, but this is actually really cool. Seeing it like this, laid out all this. Oh, wow. That is cool. That is really neat. It's time to start moving into some of the builds that are very personal to me, which is my base area. Over here is my original starter base. Well, not like my original starter base, but my somewhat decent starting base. Now, originally, this was made out of sandstone, but as a prank, Quill meticulously replaced it with stone bricks, and he said he'd be happy to help me, repair it if ever needed after doing the prank, but I liked it. I just kept it there. So it's just cool. Over here is, of course, the playpen of Misadventure. The pen of Misadventure, yep, which is very cool. And my what are these? Some kind of plants on the side have been replaced with cake, because I do like me some cake. And this was a nice little starter base. It did the job. It has a little enchanting area up here and bed, of course. It does the job. It was functional more than anything. Whoa. And, of course, my storage spot. I'm going to go out of that cinematic camera mode. It's getting a little too weird for me. My decent little storage area. Nothing fancy, nothing like, nothing automated, but it did the job. It stored my stuff so that we could move on to the bigger, better things. And then I started building the grand projects that I started going on, which is the village of Seaside. I'll show it from up here. Go back in the cinematic mode for this. Now, Seaside was intended to be a whole story thing of a coastal village. And there's a skeleton hanging out over there in the one block of shade, of course. And the idea was that each of the builds in here, each of the little places in the village, would be a different redstone farm of some kind. And the first one I built was still one of my favorites. It's noisy in here, but this is my cow cooker, where I can... Oh, geez, I'm not going to hang out in there for long because it's too loud. But that is where it produces all the beef and leather we could need. This little guy here is a great wheat cooker, which automatically makes a bunch of wheat really fast. This is my sea salt float. It is a sugarcane farm that produces, or that I kind of doctored up to make it look like it makes soda, which is a speed potion, and ice cream, right? Wait, something's wrong with that ice cream. It looks a little bloody. It must be a different flavor. So it's just renamed stuff to make it kind of thematically appropriate. It produces sugar. It does a decent job. I kept having mobs get stuck in there, as you can hear. This iron golem always seems to hang out here. You just kind of leave him. Now over here is the... Story-wise, this is like the town hall of Seaside. Functionally, it's my villager breeder. It was not automated or anything. It was just a little place for them to stare into each other's eyes lovingly. It was just a little place where they could, we could make some more villagers for whatever purposes were needed. Now, this never ended up being finished because it was one of the grand projects I did. But this was going to be the great library of Seaside. Now, as you can see, particularly from an aerial view, this is a massive build. I got pretty far in it. It ended up needing just a ridiculous amount of leather for all of these bookshelves everywhere. All over the place. Bookshelves, bookshelves. Now, funny story, I wanted to build the library here, but the railroad, that old original railroad that took us from spawn, one of the earliest builds on the server, went right over where I wanted to build. So I thought, okay, well, I could tear it down and I could replace it, just kind of make it go around here. But then I thought, let's make it be like a historical landmark. So I actually incorporated the original railroad track, block for block as far as location, into the build of the library, kind of make it like a protected area. And the function of this library was to be a place where there'd be villagers installed. They would be installed in these little spots here, these little stalls here, the librarian desks, and they would sell different books. I would, from the villager breeder, get books that had good function, such, and would have them here so I could easily access and have all the good like mending books and any of the stuff you'd use a lot. Would be easily accessible here, and also, as you saw over this way, there's like an enchanting table, some anvils, just kind of a nice functional little place here. And here there'd be some books and all kinds of cool things. Now that, of course, brings us to the most grand and epic scale attempt of a build that I have ever attempted, which is what was going to be the floating temple of the Deep Lord. Now, I got as far as making the floating island, and I am really, really proud of how this ended up being. I only got, it looks complete from one angle. If you go around the other side, you may notice that it is hollow inside. I'll show you here. Yeah. I didn't finish it through the other way. But from the front, which is what matters, it looks basically complete. I wanted to add a little bit more variety on the top side here. But I'm really happy with how that looks. That, to me, looks like a floating island. I was really proud of that. And it was all built around the starting point was this beautiful, the face up there is actually a fairly new addition, this beautiful mob farm, which I love the creeper head up here, and the tongue sticking out is great. This is a fully automated mob farm where it uses, what does it use? The observer blocks and string to make these pistons. Some of them get kind of stuck, but mobs will spawn on the string, or at least they did. And then it will activate the observer blocks, and they'll fall down to their doom, to the row of hoppers I have, feeding down into there. This is super, super useful for getting all of that gunpowder that we need to power our rockets. Super handy stuff. And I only got started as far as laying out the entrance to the temple itself and the rest of it. And Quill made a cool treasure hunt. I never got around to playing that, which I have a little bit of regrets on. I thought about doing that, but I'm just really anxious to get going on the new server. So I would like to check that out at some point. I'll have the world saved. I might do that at some point in the future. Or maybe I'll make it available for other people to download. They can check out this treasure hunt. But for now, this is as far as I got on this massive, massive project. It was never quite completed, but I'm really happy with how far I managed to come with this. It was a massive undertaking. I'm looking forward to build things on this scale again for Season 2, for sure. Now, one of the cool things about where we set up our nether portal in the village there was that it put us directly in a nether fortress, which I thought is really cool. So that gave us quick access to all kinds of things, such as blazes and wither skeletons, all that good stuff. And again, one of the earlier redstone builds I put together, which I, again, am really, really pleased with, and I will probably make another similar variant of at some point, is over this way. It is my blaze farm that I made. It's encapsulated in here, made to kind of look in the same vein as the rest of the thing. But if you were to go inside here, you will realize that this is a beautiful blaze farm with that little blaze twitching out in there. It's visible from right here is the place where you stand. It's a badger. And they would spawn up in here. They would slowly move down here. These trapdoors would trigger pistons, funnel them in here down to the kill zone where you gather all your experience and blaze rods. Made for a pretty good early game. Oh, I think I might have stumbled upon a treasure. Made for a really good earlier game experience farm. Definitely took good care of us for a while. Now, if you follow the bone path, you will find another one of the key areas to the server, which is a whole different village where Quill kind of took leadership of in the primary decorating jobs. And it is over here in what I believe, what was it called? I'll have to double check. Coming through the portal, I love what Quill did with this place. I actually have very little building influence over here. There's not much that I built. Oh, there's a creeper up there. Do you see that guy? Oh, he's ready to wreck someone's day. Quill did most of the work over here, and wow, did he go above and beyond. There's another, this is, I think, a pumpkin farm. Yeah, pumpkin farm. This is his skeleton farm, which is another great source of experience, and most importantly, bones in mass, which he uses for a lot of building, and I use for a lot of bone meal stuff. I believe this is his actual proper base. Got cool trees everywhere. Over here is a cemetery, which is a really cool idea that he had, where it would record how many deaths we had, and you could bury... you had a little thing. I wonder if there's fall damage. Loved it. Morgan Ashire. So the end giveth, so the end taketh away. Here it is. Edison T. Crux. Death count 17. Death before decaf. I love the idea. It's a cool concept. And like there's a little grave underneath there with things appropriate to us. Really cool concepts. He did a lot of cool stuff with this area. More was coming. And another cool thing about this, yeah, I see you trying to wreck someone's day, is in this general area, where is the path? Here it is the route we take to get to, of course... Oh, someone is building a place over here. I'm not even sure whose that is. That's new to me. This is the path we would take, of course, to get to the end. And Morgan was going to start setting up a base over here. Never quite ended up happening, although he does have his beacon set up over here. So I'm going to switch into creative mode so that I can pop down here, take a jump into the end, where another one of the really cool builds that again is endermen, creepy. This build deserves spectator mode. This is Morgan's build over here, and it was his baby. He put a ton of time into it. You'd walk in through here. This is the stem, the slender tender endermender, also known as an enderman farm, and wowee, was it an endeavor. I remember I helped him a couple of times just with getting some of the blocks laid down and such, but this is his baby, and it did a really good job. It supplied us with so much experience and so many ender pearls. Once this thing came around, I guarantee you, I don't know where they all are now. Something probably glitched out with the update, no doubt. But I guarantee you, once this was made, that blaze farm I had was kind of irrelevant. I'm not gonna lie. Back in the overworld, we're actually gonna show one of my favorite redstone projects I did in the server for the decoration of it. This is the community iron farm, and I love the aesthetic of this. It's like the Nether from this portal down here just crept out and leaked into the overworld. And I love how it came about. I love how it kind of dips down into the water and makes like a crevice. I love the look of it, and I love how much iron it produces. As I recall, yeah, it kind of overflowed with iron. In fact, there might even be, yeah, no, it was manageable. And I would regularly come over here and take some, and it works very well for just a single layer iron farm. It does a really good job. I just love the style of it, though. This creeping nether, the fact that it goes down under sea level. It's just, I don't know. Something about this has always been one of my favorites as far as look and function. And ladies and gentlemen, with that, I think it is time to call this little tour to an end. It has been really fun reliving some of these memories, looking at all this stuff that we put together. But now I am anxious to start the last stuff I need to do to set up for Season 2 to begin. I'm really excited to play. Again, I apologize that I won't be doing videos in the same style as I did before, where I'll be doing, a lot of gameplay ones. I'll do more of update type stuff. So, again, I apologize. It's just kind of where life is for me right now. But I hope you guys are looking forward to seeing those updates. I know I'm looking forward to playing it. And I'm looking forward to hearing all of you having fun playing on 1.13. This is the biggest update to Minecraft we've gotten in ages, and it looks like it's going to be so much fun. I'm really excited. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Hope you're looking forward to what comes next. I know I am. And until next time, catch you later, everybody.